If a good superpower costed $1 million, what superpower could you get for just $10? Any power, but every few minutes there is a short delay and you hear a voice in your head. This superpower is brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends. Always know where the beginning of the adhesive tape is. That's more $1,000 power because that is very useful. Super strength when opening jars. Only applies to jars. Can accidentally crush the jar if not careful. This is the only legitimate answer. Something so cheap simply *** to backfire at certain points. If we pay $10 instead the $1 million for a perfect power without no side effects, we can only expect a lot side effects. Accidentally breaking the jar is generously harmless. You can turn invisible, but you have to get naked and the duration is rondo monsieur. Imagine staying invisible for like 25 years. Actually, he didn't say the upper limit for the duration. So statistically, you'd be invisible for an infinite amount of time. Because there's an infinite amount of infinite more time. So, the average time would be infinite, if that makes sense. So, you'd in all likelihood be invisible forever. Or at least invisible for the rest of your life. And then on forever until your body turns to invisible ash. Then gets eaten by some sun. Then the sun slowly burns out, having some invisible hydrogen somewhere inside it, until the sun burns it up into invisible light. And there would still be an infinite amount of time afterward. The individual particles would drift through the universe, completely unseen until the heat death of the universe. And still, there would be an infinite amount of time afterward. He said the duration was random, but didn't say it was uniformly rondo monsieur. It could, for example, be a Poisson random duration. You can read the mind once a day, but doing so causes you to go blind for the rest of it. Me, * reads minds every day at 23:59 *. Patch update blind for a 24-hour period after use. Fucking devs. DLC unlock for $5.99. The elevator is at your floor ready for you 80% of the time. Oh, I would buy that for $10. Can instantly charge any smartphone up by 25%. But there's a 24-hour recharging process before you can use your power again. How do I make a custom OS where 25% was full battery? It's called the iPhone 5. The ability to put the USB in correctly at the first try. Every time? He said the first try. Not every time. So it can only be used once. Invoke this power wisely, perhaps when impressing a date with your fluid data transfer skills. Immunity from songs getting stuck in your head. You know the rules. And so do I. The power to levitate, like 1 centimeter off the ground. I mean, you could totally avoid tripping on stupid tiny things. Ah yes, I can no longer trip on this penny. You can levitate like ½ millimeter above Lego pieces. That's an instant win. Being able to pee faster. Dude, that's at least $500. For $10 you get the superpower to fart the song Never Gonna Give You Up. Shut up and take my money. That sounds like an amazing party trick. Ability to scratch ear nuts without actually scratching it. I would spend more than $10 for that. Pay me $20 and I'll scratch it for you. The ability to burst into flames like the Human Torch, but without the whole being fireproof thing. So one-time use. Sales is alls about wording. You know, one word in every language. It's a random word in every language. Being able to zoom in with your eyes whenever you want. But it will be all pixelated like with digital zoom monsieur. What if I get the $16 option where I can enhance the image by saying, enhance CHKA? It's $10 for the power and a monthly $6 for the ability to zoom. Transform into a pineapple at will. Does it come with the power to transform back? No, just transforming into the pineapple. That's it? I'd read a story about an O where everyone has the power to turn into a pineapple at will, but never turn back. Everyone knows how to do it. It's as easy as simply deciding to be a pineapple. But no one has ever turned back. No one knows if it's because they can't or they don't want to. Are they still conscious? Is it better being a pineapple so that's why no one goes back? Just imagine, you're sitting at home and you start thinking about turning into a pineapple. And you need to fight the curiosity because you don't know what it's like. But that just piques the curiosity even more. This gave me immense stress. I feel like I'd think too hard about it at some point and pineapple myself because I flew too close to the sun. No wipe needed after taking a dump. You don't need $10 for that. It's called self-confidence. Reading minds of pigeons. Pigeons are everywhere. If you could make sense of their minds, perhaps you could have an extensive surveillance network. Here's the most interesting thing you'd find: bitches like sticks. The ability to know for sure if someone wants to see your dick or not. Thanks, Chris Delia. Men will spend a lot on that. Edit. If we spend thousands on bathwater, we'll pay thousands for that. I'd pay $1,000 for that. It'd be great to use at job interviews. The ability to grow hair at a faster rate. How much faster are we talking, and do you have any control over the quality plus color of the hair? I hear the wig industry is friggin' lucrative. I reckon you have to charge extra for quality and color change abilities. As in, how much faster? I reckon by like 50%. But you have to concentrate to push it out, like taking a shit. Ad block that worked on mobile YouTube. Dishes self-washing, I guess. There's simply no way this power only costs $10. The ability to sense any spider that is within 3 feet of my face. I think that would be horrifying. There is probably a spider within 3 feet most of the time. Perhaps the ability to repel spiders. But that would be worth more than $10. Ability to accumulate farts in your asshole and saving them for later. Imagine storing carts for 5 years and biding your time to save up just enough. Finally, you do it. You buy a ticket to the Super Bowl. Now all you have to do is sneak into the ventilation system and release the world's most deadly stink bomb. That is actually helpful for social situations. The power to identify species of corvid on sight doesn't always work on magpies, as long as it distinguishes between jackdaws and crows. The ability to bet on the fact that one of these would be fart-related. It worked. Near instant erection control. This should definitely cost like a $10,000 due to how helpful it would be. Being able to talk to inanimate objects. I'd pay so much for this. Edit. I can already do this. I just seem like an idiot. You've just been scammed $10. You can talk to inanimate objects, they just don't answer. But you find they're all assholes. Chair. I have been tripping you on purpose for years. And you thought you were clumsy. Ha 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 ha. Bed leg. How does your toe feel? Let me hit it again. Here's another one for you. Someone who can change the way things smell. Now, that sounds like a real wuss power. But stop and think what you can do with that. 1. Make a fortune selling counterfeit perfume. 2. Create a false gas leak to clear everyone out of a location. 3. Cover up a gas leak that then causes catastrophic destruction. 4. Hide the presence of drugs or explosives from animals trained to sniff them out. And I'm sure there are other nefarious things I'm not thinking of. When you have bad diarrhea and it stinks, change the smell. Would be crazy in the customization front. I want my Mac to smell like literal apples. The ability to summon a cup of coffee for yourself once a day instead of having to buy it. By Boomer Logic. This would save you enough money to be able to buy a house in about 10 years. To fall asleep for 5 minutes and then wake up immediately after 5 minutes have passed. Pause time for 10 seconds, but it has a 5 minutes recharge. Edit. After consideration, I propose that you have no idea how long time can be paused between 1 second to 6 hours. It also has a 24-hour recharge. Honestly, a brilliant power. 5 minutes recharge is nothing. Fair point. 5-hour recharge makes more sense to me. Tilde. that, or hour-long recharge, but it's a trigger finger power that activates more often than you'd like. Anytime your fight or flight senses are engaged, for example, the power of flight like half or a lot less than walking speed and an inch off the ground. This will make my night raids in the kitchen easier. You'll reach the kitchen by 7 if you start at 3. In our dark times a hero shall rise. Behold, it always knows when the other person has finished and it's now their turn to talk in group work Skype conversation. Man. Permanent. One-time shape-shifting. Cannot be reused again even if you buy a copy power. Maybe the price is like 1K though. Process of shape-shifting takes like an hour. Is very painful, but you're able to decide what you want to be, what you want to change throughout. Brain is unaffected. Probably. Edit. Coming at it with the lens of someone who's trans. And specifically how absolutely painfully slow and difficult it is to medically transition. There is a possibility that even getting this power will take like 10 different doctors to give you the go-ahead. You'll have to explain exactly why you want to change, such as getting a bigger dick like someone said, not just transitioning, to every single doctor in TMI detail. You'll probably have to be nude in front of the doctor who's going to go through the process with you, like a surgery of sorts. But that's to make sure you get exactly what you want. And before all that, you'll have to go to lots and lots of therapy to make sure this is what y'all want. In the end, while the cost is probably pretty cheap, actually being able to do it is an absolute nuisance and really difficult. A year or two wait before you can do anything, even if it's for the best. Well, that would be worth more than $10 because you could just change into an enhanced version of yourself with a muscular body and a giant dick. Also younger looking if you're older. Seems like something some would pay millions for. The power to never lose at rock, paper, scissors. 33.3% of the time. Great way to become a millionaire overnight. They have international rock, paper, scissors competitions. What would happen if two people with this power were to play this game? Gun always wins. Gun wins every time. Common sense. Should be $1,000. You know, when you were a kid and pretended you had Jedi powers and could open those sliding doors of supermarkets by swiping your hands? That. I'm 40 years old, and was walking through the supermarket parking lot. Out of the corner of my eye, I see a cart rolling my direction. So I do the force pull thing because fuck it. Why not? It comes right to my hand. Turn around and there's a kid staring at me open-mouthed. I wink at him and walk into the store. Any of the good superpowers, but they only last 15 minutes. Okay, I'll take the can instantly create buckets of pure gold per second on demand for 15 minutes. Please. Alright, the guy who had this as a permanent superpower has already completely ruined the market. Super speed, but when you run you lose all of your senses. LMAO, imagine suddenly accelerating at the speed of a bullet and then immediately crashing into the ground and skipping like a stone because you lose your balance. Good power to escape situations with no control of where you go. Waking up and not being just as tired as when you went to sleep. I would pay more than $1 million for this if I had the money. Telekinesis. But it only works when you stub your pinky toe and the powers last only as long as the pain. Super sense of smell. This definitely will worth more than $10. Netflix never asks you if you're still watching. Be careful what you wish for. The day they stop asking is the day they know whether you're watching or not. This is deep. The ability to spit top-tier engine oil on demand. That should cost $50 NGL. The thing is that you taste it after spitting it out. Oh, okay. I'd like to say 20/20 vision, but those who have broken eyes, like me, will know even this costs way more than $10 to get. If you die, you get a highlight reel of your life. Happiness shouldn't be expensive. You can untangle your headphones in an instant. The ability to pour milk out of your fingers. Do you ask they to express it like you were milking a nipple? And is it human breast milk? It's finger milk, dummy. But It's not always controlled and sometimes leaks milk when you don't want. Like when shaking hands after a job interview, signing an important document, picking your nose, or typing on your brand new laptop. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.